I think I look at it as sort of twofold in a way. Firstly, as a player, I was an amateur at Llanelli, played for Wales during, the sort of mid-80s until the mid-90s, really. And then I went into professional coaching at Leeds in 1996. And the biggest thing that I found in the beginning was when I was a player, obviously, and I was working, I had a job with a company in Wales, was going from a situation where somebody was organising your schedule, if you like, and your plan, to then going into coaching and being the one that had to create the schedule and the plan, learning and challenging, really, because, obviously when you work, you win 8 to 4, whatever it is, it's all planned for you to an extent. Same at the rugby club in Llanelli with Gareth Jenkins, the coach. So I was always reliant on other people to do the planning and the organising, but then going, obviously, into professional coaching in Leeds, I was actually the one then that was doing all that other stuff. So I found that quite challenging in the beginning and got over that and moved forward. And then over the years, since 96, I've coached nearly every year until, to the present day in various places. Some exotic places like Namibia, where I met Johan when we were going to the World Cup qualifications more recently. I've coached in France with Hilly at Rouen, in North Wales, the WIU, Cardiff, Scarlet. So the key thing I've learned out of all those transitions is along the way learning more about myself, increasing my self-awareness. And in fact, then, understanding the awareness and the needs of others in order to build rapport. You're going into different contexts. As Bernard would know, coaching in France is different than coaching in Wales. I know that is obvious, but it's really, really important to understand, the customs, the culture of the country or the different clubs. The coaching transition has been more about improving self-awareness, I feel, and also being aware, more awareness of others in the process. So those are the couple of things that, I've learned, on my coaching journey in terms of the transitions, really.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge from there, Phil?
In the coaching is going in and, coach the coaching. For example, going into Namibia 5 years ago with World Rugby, it was a case of they had a high performance program, World Rugby. And Namibia had a high performance program as well. That was a loose term, that, by the way. But anyway, it's one of the biggest things we learned was their understanding of high performance and our understanding of high performance was vastly different and it was far apart. And the challenge was trying to close that, gap and understanding over a period of time and bring people, along with you and not telling them what to do. There's a lot of guided discovery in there over the period of time and bringing people along the journey, because I found the Namibians to be some of the nicest people I've ever met in the game, but also the most stubborn. You'd have fantastic conversations. They like to please and say yes, yes, yes. But then the actual implementation took a lot longer. And I think over the time, you develop a lot of skills of persuasion and understanding, and also respect that you're a guest in their country as well. And those things are very, very important, to firstly set the context, understand what their understanding is of high performance, and then work through it with them in order to achieve a team that can compete on a global stage, and who weren't professional. There's only, I think, there's under 1,000 players, Johan, playing rugby in Namibia. So to go to a global competition and be competitive was a big challenge. I remember the first meeting I had with them, and I said to them, look, what do you want to do? And they said, we want to win the first game of the world, our first game at the World Cup in England. And I thought, well, I was quite impressed with that ambition until I realised that the first game was against the All Blacks. So we realised then we didn't have a bloody hope in hell of winning the game. But so that's what I mean. It's so important to get a clear understanding of what's possible and the realities you need to go through to actually get there. It was an amazing experience because we knew we were going into certain games where we couldn't win, But it was very, very important to look at, that's where you look at the process of preparation rather than the outcome of winning, if you like, in order to create a team and an organisation that is as functional as possible and is maximising its potential. You know?